Okay, looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Bezad.
My name is Risha.
And we are here from Naked and Famous Denim to bring to you the world's greatest live stream featuring all denim conversations and probably a few other things. Regardless, it is still the greatest live stream in the world, and we're happy to be here with you guys. It is Saturday, June the 1st here in Yokohama, Japan. It is probably, I don't know what might happen between our current present day and where you are, but it is probably May 31st, Friday evening, 7 p.m. for many of you. Welcome to the Naked and Famous Denim live stream. I am just waking up. My brain is still slow. I am drinking coffee from my Naked and Famous Denim milk glass coffee mug to make me more alert and more awake to bring to you some more denim information. So thanks to our sponsor, Naked and Famous Denim, for sponsoring this video. If you guys didn't realize that we were sponsored by Naked and Famous Denim, we are, in fact, Naked and Famous Denim. So there you have it, everybody. The secret is out of the bag. The other day, I saw a comment, and I think I've mentioned it before, like why I don't really monetize this channel. I'm like, it's basically it's an ad for Naked and Famous. We provide some content and information, but ultimately we're talking about product, so And then somebody left a clever comment in one of our videos and was like, "This is a 36-minute ad." And I responded,
Yes.
"So?"
Yes.
We
are not hiding that.
You cracked the code. I couldn't, man, I can't believe it. Anyhow, welcome to Naked and Famous Denim live stream. We're going to talk to you guys about a bunch of things. I did my research on denim inflation, so we're going to cover that one today. It was quite fascinating, and I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
No? I thought you were.
No, it's a lot of people think that. They see this live stream and they think that is a genius. And while I do appreciate that, nope, I haven't cracked that genius level.
I see. You win the genius guy competition.
Nope, I wouldn't win a genius guy. I would win a genius guy competition. Maybe. I'd be in the running. I'd be in the running. But as for big brain, smart guy, no, not me. That being said, let's check in with the real big brain, smart people, the people in the chat, the people who are here to learn about raw denim from the genius here. Solvents, welcome. Won't be able to tune in tonight. Hope everyone is well. Have a great stream. Love you guys. Well, we love you too. And thanks for checking in, even if you can't stay the whole time. Radio McRadioface. That's a great name. Rockin' the Duck Canvas Super Guy for work. Well, I hope you are enjoying them. BD, the producer, is in the house today, calling in from the home of the Ultimate Warrior.
What?
Parts Unknown.
Oh.
Are you in Parts Unknown, or is there another home that I'm not familiar with? Calling in from the home of the Ultimate Warrior, wearing the Elephant 10 jorts to skate a bit, and now back in Elephant 12s. Nice. That's great. A little Elephant 10 jorts to keep you cool, and then back to some real long-legged trousers to round out the day. Pierre Moreau, hello from Guelph, Ontario. Welcome, my friends. Lounging in my new MIJ12s. Amazing material. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying them, Mr. Pierre. Good to see you here. Johnny Crumhorn sending his hello. Shank Style, good to see you. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Trying E-Honda denim for the winter day today. I think Tate and Yoko sent me a sample pair or something because I realized the leather patch is red and not blue like most of the pictures online. You, sir, probably did. Not probably. If it's the red patch, if it's not the patch that you saw for production, you definitely got a sample. And how the sample slipped out of my office is news to me. So,
I don't know. I didn't know that we did the sampling in red.
Yeah, I mean, there was I don't remember offhand, but if it's not the production color, then we probably sampled it in a different color. I just remember that the Ryu denim, the blue that we did the production in was a slightly different shade of blue than the sample, so there was a little change there. And I don't remember if the Akuma denim, I think it was always red, the leather patch on that one. Yeah. But there might have been a few, but sometimes we just sample the patch and it never makes it onto the jean.
Right. That too.
So anyhow, you got a lucky pair. There you go, a very rare pair.
Rare pair.
I hope rare pair. Enjoy them. Topher Cobra, greetings from sunny California. I'm enjoying my broken twill slub stretch today, which are so comfortable, and a Wonder Looper double heavyweight tee. Good man. That is a great combination. Comfort and the durability. That's what you want in life. I too am wearing my Wonder Looper double heavyweight t-shirt. Canadian Penny, greetings from sunny Vancouver Island. Wearing my Craftsman Easy Guys and loving the lightweight denim. Can still be nicely textured denim. I'm also wearing my Craftsman denim jacket here in the zip chore coat. A very comfortable option. It's a great, even around the house, just lounging in it is nice. I just like having the extra pockets, I feel like a lady, sometimes when they have pockets on their jeans or, trousers, dresses, they're just so happy.
Dress mostly. Yeah. Because it's like, you're just... Well, nowadays I feel like that's a known thing, selling point. But like, I don't know, up until recently, like it's just like, why wouldn't you put pockets?
Yeah.
Where would you put your hands?
Yeah, there's a joy in a lady's face when there's a pocket somewhere. Yes. They're just unbelievable.
There's pockets.
Yeah. But
because
now
we're so abused over the years.
Yeah. Finally.
Having pockets.
Then nobody talks about that enough,
The suffering of...
The suffering of women's lack of pockets in their clothes. Yeah, there needs to be there was the women's suffrage movement.
I don't know.
There needs to be something in that line.
Yeah, in the history books.
Yeah, like a women's rights organization. There's all kinds of rights that women need to fight for and, all that stuff. But right... Is having pockets a right, or is it a privilege? Let us know your thoughts in the chat here. Let's discuss.
I think in jeans, it's a right.
It's a right. It should not be there. It must always be there.
It must always be there, yes.
So fake pockets shall be outlawed.
Yes.
That's dangerous territory. What if somebody just doesn't want pockets? Should they not have the ability to not have pockets?
No, just white trousers.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes they don't want to see the jeans are tight and they don't want the pocket bags to show, so they want the look of the jean.
I'm not saying the pocket needs to be deep, where you can put your whole hands in, where it would, like, the pocket lining would show in the thigh. Just have like a real,
okay, even if it's just
shallow.
Even if it's shallow, like even if it can only hold a memory card, you're okay with that. Like a lipstick, even, you're fine with that. But you're not okay with just no pocket in the front.
I don't want like this.
That.
But I understand there's like for us, like with high skinny, our pocket is shallow.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep it, like, I think it goes only to, like, the crease mark, or crease mark would be. I think that's fine. Because, some people don't want to show, it's not a sightly design.
Right.
It shows, like, in the middle of the thigh, like, you see a line.
But in Risa Rules the World, you would completely ban just having like the
stitching.
Yeah, just stitching, but no actual pocket. That would be a jailable offense. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There you have it, everybody. Let's hear your thoughts on that one too.
Pocket. Sometimes people make jeans without back pocket. That should be
I'm gonna go with. I'm okay with that. Classic 80s mom jean style. Elastic waistband, no back pockets. Right? No back pockets, no snagging. Right? That means mom can get around real easy. He's not going to get caught on stuff. I'm okay with the no back pocket. I'm okay with all the jeans, to be fair. All the varieties of jeans. No back pockets, no snagging. Is
that why?
I don't know why, but, those 80s, 90s mom jeans. Yeah, I get it, but there's just that look. I think we all know what we're talking about here. And I don't want to live in a world where that isn't an option anymore.
Well, that's in the history books. Yeah. We're not going to erase that. But
they kind of look like jogging pants, but they're jeans. They're mom jeans.
Yeah, now they have yoga pants for that. So
that's true, but some people shouldn't wear yoga pants.
That's also true, but some people should wear jeans with back pockets just to distract.
Yes, that's true. Just to distract. Okay. Well, there's a lot of thoughts there. So I
have a lot of opinions on that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there you have it. Canadian Penny. When growing up, it was rumored that the Macho Man was from New Brunswick, our neighboring province. I was proud of that fact until years later, finding out that that was far from the truth. Yeah, the Macho Man, I believe, was from Sarasota, Florida.
He does look like a Florida guy.
I guess when we were kids, there was a lot of rumors about wrestlers and so and so is from here and there. I don't know. I kind of got that feeling about certain celebrities, and then one day you realize that was not true at all.
It was because you couldn't just Google right there and right then and there.
Yeah. Also just the idea. We were talking about this literally yesterday, Reese and I. How, some people, if you're a wrestling fan, you've ultimately you've had this encounter before where somebody with a big brain comes up to you and is like, it's fake, right? And I'm like, oh my God, you're shattering my world right now. I really believed The Undertaker was a human zombie. I could not fathom that wasn't actually real, that he was a living dead man. And as we were having this discussion, I'm like, yeah, but I guess when I was in like 2nd and 3rd grade, I did believe that he was the dead man.
Just like Santa Claus.
Yeah. It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right?
When you're a kid, you're allowed to believe that. And when you become an adult, like, it's like nobody's going to go up to you and say, like, just because you're like Christmas and, let's go see Santa. It's like, nobody's going to say, like, Santa's not real. That guy at the mall is just a guy. Like, nobody's going to say that. Yeah,
that's true. I'm like, we know.
Well, yeah, but when it comes to pro wrestling, people just feel like they need to like show off that knowledge that it's not real, and it's like, yes, well, we all know that.
My favorite response to these people is, you watch Game of Thrones? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's not real either, right? I'm like, that's literally not real. That didn't happen. Those are actors. That's not a documentary. It's all fake. It's super fake. Like, and they're just like, it just blows their mind like that I'm even making that like equation. Mm-hmm. Like, like just watch.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just enjoy it. That's all. Anyhow, shout outs to the Macho Man Randy Savage, the Macho King Randy Savage. All right, Shang-Sao, haha, sounds like we'll get the Bayzad financial advisor talk today. Only if someone tells me that they're going broke buying jeans. I will try to pull them back from the ledge and say, hey, don't do that. Enjoy the ones that you got, and you will get your money's worth for the jeans that you have. But yeah, constantly collecting, if you're not financially able to do so. Not good sound financial advice. Great for us. Mm-hmm. Wonderful for us. As a business, customers buying stuff is great.
Yeah,
but I like, some people get very excited when they get into raw denim. And they might overindulge. Again, not the greatest from the guy from the company saying, hey, don't buy. I'm just saying chill. Buy, enjoy.
We want you to be a long-time customer and not like a short...
Yeah, a short burst of like, I have 5 pairs of jeans.
All within like a month.
Yeah. And then you don't fade any of them. Just...
Yeah. Although, if we can afford it.
Yeah, if you can afford it, go nuts. It really helps us out. It keeps Terry is in the chat. Here you go. Keeps Terry busy picking and packing those orders out for you. So it does help cycle the economy a little bit. Every little bit helps, but my preference is buy the jeans, enjoy them, wear them, fade them. Yeah, you know what? If you have an indigo pair, maybe pick up a black pair, just to balance those out. And if maybe you need a summery pair, there you go, Enjoy them, get as much wear as you can out of them, fade them, enjoy the entire process, then maybe start dipping and dabbling into some other things. But sometimes people, they get into that first indigo pair, then they get that heavyweight, slubby, they collect them all, but they never get to enjoy them all. And, wearing a pair of jeans is a dedicated thing. Wearing a pair of raw denim jeans, fading them, that takes a lot of time. It's not going to happen in, 3 months. That you go from new to super faded, unless you're an animal or like a wild beast like Garrett is with his fading. He's incredible. But apart from that, most people it's going to take a year, maybe even 2 years to really fade that pair. And I know that we put out a lot of product, and there's it's very tempting to add some things here and there. But I would just say, try to act responsibly, and get the most out of what you buy by wearing it and enjoying it.
That goes to a lot of things.
Yeah, that goes for a lot of things. That's true. I'm personally, I do not take that advice. I buy a lot of things, and I try to use them. But it's not always, they don't always get utilized the way they should. But I'm just, as an advice giver, sometimes you don't do what Donnie Don't does.
But you are frugal in a way that oftentimes you get good deals. I do not let you financially ruin yourself.
That's true.
From buying all these things that you buy.
Yes, that's true. I do go from 0 to 100 very fast once I'm into something. Yeah.
That's your personality. I don't think you can do anything about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I like these things now. And it's like, all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'm just going to buy the... it's like, I will easily work my way up the chain of products where it's like, I need if I need a... Lately I've been looking at like headphone amplifiers. And I'm like, okay, this is like the budget. Like, you do your research online. Like, this is the budget one. This is the one that everyone's like, this is the best bang for your buck. And I'm like, yeah, but what does like $50 more get me? Then I'm like, Then you're like, all of a sudden, what about $100? $100 more is fine. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is like a $1,200 headphone amplifier. And I don't know why this is so intriguing to me, but... at first you're looking at like $150, and like somehow in your brain you're trying to justify something 10 times the price, and you're like,
I need this.
Yeah, I need this.
I can't live without this feature. That's the same with the household appliances.
Yeah.
In Japan, I started off with thinking that the refrigerator just needs to refrigerate.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need anything else than cold and freezing.
Yeah.
But then Japanese refrigerator industry got me. And I was just like, but you can do partial freezing.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't take as much to defrost, but it keeps its food, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, there's all kinds of things. And it's just like, okay, well, I guess I need that.
I do like partial freezing.
Yes, I utilize it all the time.
Partial freezing is great. You get some meat, you put in the partial freezing, you're like, I'm not going to eat this today.
Right.
But
I don't want to put it in the freezer where it's gonna sit there for a week.
So there you have it. Now we need to have a fridge with a TV. I think they've been making those for a while.
I don't see the point of that. The smart, it tells you what you need and stuff like that. No, I don't need that. Yeah. But I do need extra crispy vegetable.
Yeah, crisper.
Yeah, vegetable.
It keeps the vegetables longer.
Yeah. Vegetable. What do you call it? Like a drawer? Vegetable section. Yeah. That's different from the rest of the section. And it emits ions and what kind of things.
There you go.
And they tell me that it keeps the vegetable crisp, and I need to know that.
But yeah, it's very, very. We all do it. We're gonna be guilty of it from time to time. Mm-hmm. Just try to be aware of it, and do not wreck your bank account for your hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, I every now and then I would say I used to collect video games. I'm just not really into it these days because I just don't have time to play them. So I don't think I've even bought a new video game in years. But I used to buy games all the time, retro games a lot. And every now and, and because I'm still interested in the hobby, I watch YouTube channels and I see people's things, and like sometimes, I'll come across a YouTube video or Instagram reel or something, and somebody's like, yeah, well, it's that time. I gotta dump the collection. I got bills to pay and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you shouldn't have bought all this stuff in the first place. Like, if like, it's like if you have to sell all this stuff to like pay for sort of a basic item,
I think some people just say that, though. I don't think it's like
maybe
literally I need a loaf of bread. So
yeah, right. But sometimes people are like, it's like it's a big expense, but it's like it shouldn't have been that big because like you spent a lot on those games. I'm like, you gotta. Anyhow, sometimes I'm like, prioritizing your hobbies. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Again.
Shop responsibly.
Shop responsibly. Shining Style writes, I know that maybe they're not representative of authentic Japanese curry, but doesn't Koko curry franchises in Japan use potatoes? I swear they had them when I ate there. So during the last This Week at Tate and Yoko, there was a little bit of a Japanese curry debate. And I see Terry's in the house. He had his opinions on Japanese curry, and he recommended, this was the Terry way, of not having potatoes in the curry. I disagree. I think the potatoes need to be in the curry. As for Coco's curry, I can't tell you whether they have potatoes in the curry or not.
I think they have ones with them, but their basic ones may not have it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often.
We've been there like twice in our entire lives, and it's just like down the street.
Yeah. Although there was a little bit of a discussion about, Garrett talked about adding more of like the little curry blocks into the into the mix to make it thicker, and he's like, it's curry, it's not soup. And I'm like, you guys don't even know about soup curry, because soup curry is my favorite kind of Japanese curry.
Is it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. It is great. I love it. It's Sapporo style.
Yeah.
From the north. Style. It is great. I enjoy it very, very much. When you guys come to Japan, Terry, Garrett, we're going to get some soup curry with potatoes in it. Yes. And we're going to change some minds. It's going to be like that guy, something changed my mind. The guy with the booth. That's going to be me with the soup curry. And I'm going to be right there. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change your minds.
While I understand why some people take that stance with curry, potatoes in the curry, because it does melt, like.
Yeah.
But that just makes the curry thicker also, though. Like, if you want a thicker, less soupy, because, like, I like soup curry, but it's a different dish. Whereas, like, curry I feel like it should have a little goopiness to it, like a little body to it. And potato helps that happen. And I also like, Coco's, I think when you go, like, it's just like, it's mostly like just the soup, not that it's soup, but it's like, textured soup. But I want to see things like, just things in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like, yeah, and it goes away after, like, after a day. When you heat it up again, like, it just melts even more, and then it just disappears into the soup. But I think it's part of it. It's
part of it.
Gotta enjoy it.
So, there we go. Different opinions, but I think I would say that the only wrong thing they were about, it's fine. You could have you make what you like, enjoy how you like. But they were definitely wrong about Japanese curry not being spicy. Garrett was like, yeah, just get the spiciest one because it's going to be mild. I'm like, no.
Well,
You're going to burn your face. When Garrett was here, he bought a curry that was like pretty intensely hot. And you guys have known from some of these spicy Japanese snacks we've had, they don't mess around. Sometimes they're pretty hot.
Sometimes.
Like, when I say mess up a kid, it's going to mess up a kid. And, yeah, the curry here, like, it can get there. It can definitely get there.
The old school curries that you buy at the store, there's mild, which is not spicy at all. It's good for kids and stuff. And then there's the middle spice, which is just, regular people's, like a tiny bit of spice. And then there's spicy, which is not that spicy, to be fair. That has been the thing for a while. Until, recently where we have more variety. Yeah. By recently, like, I mean, in the last maybe 15 years. Yeah, 20 years. There's more variety. So you can't just, like, use that thing of, 3 level and third is not that bad. It's just, like, there's so much. And then the soup curry restaurant we go to, we ordered level 3. Yeah. And that's pretty spicy. Yeah. And they go up to level 10.
I don't even want to find out. Yeah. Because, I order it mild there. I order mild in public. That's a pro tip. Don't mess your stomach up on the go. If you're out, don't try to mess your stomach up. You don't know what's going to happen. And you don't know, anyhow, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. So I order mild when I'm out in public. If I'm eating hot wings at home, no problem, okay? But in public, be responsible. Get something that your stomach is going to agree with. And yeah, we get the level 3 out there. I don't even want to find out what 10 is. Because 3 is spicy enough. Yeah. And I like spicy food. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 is a good enough spice. Yeah. And I probably could, like, enjoy up to maybe 4. 5 probably would be like, oh, this is annoying to eat this because it's too spicy.
Right. You don't want that. You want to enjoy your food. Yeah. Shang Style. Bayzad is a spice lord, so I think I'll trust his advice on the spicy levels. Can handle my spice. For a while, I was very into let's test the limits of life, and I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I can eat spicy stuff, but I'm not trying to challenge myself anymore.
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah. You're also not going to compete with the highest tolerance level people. Like, you're not Korean. You're not Thai. Like, that's just not...
There's something in your blood that has to exist for you to really handle that.
We don't have that gene.
Well, there you go, everybody. Chase Franson, thanks for the suggestion. Topher Cobra writes that... I'm not really sure. Oh, I think we were talking about Topher Cobra writes, in about a month, I'm going on a cruise to Alaska, and there's a stop in Vancouver, Canada. Anyone have any recommendations for souvenirs? And Chase writes, the Shop Vancouver, Detail, Brooklyn, Vancouver are some fairly amazing Vancouver denim-related souvenirs. They have, it's true, those are some great shops out in the Vancouver area. But as far as, like, Canadian souvenirs in general, I don't find that we're very good with that type of stuff.
I mean, only thing to come to mind is maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup, it doesn't come from Vancouver.
That's true, but it's
comes from Canada. Yeah, I would say that in Canada. Yeah, you're gonna find, like, the Toronto T-shirt, or like if you go to Niagara Falls, you're gonna get little tchotchkes and stuff like that. I find that it's hard because
Canada's America.
Yeah, but even still, like, it's hard to find a cultural gift that is, like, I would say that it you can find, like, what are they called? The dream catchers and things like that, like native stuff, but it's not made by natives usually. When you'll see it in, like, a dollar store or something like that, and it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, if you go to like a store that are
or like soapstone like statues, those are cool. And I don't know where you would buy that. Like I don't know a particular store where you would buy that, but those can be really neat because I feel like that's pretty Canadian. But other than that,
the dreamcatcher thing in like, native.
I guess if you're from America, then so it's not that it's not a foreign culture to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I was kind of disappointed was that, like bay blanket, like bay patterns are so iconic Canadian. And we, last time we were in Canada, or maybe a couple other times, and we were kind of looking for, that kind of souvenir.
Point blanket.
Yeah. And they're like, they're not made in Canada.
Yeah.
The ones that they sell now in the stores, they're not really. I think maybe they have options that are
at the Bay. I remember they had a couple of like, I don't know, they weren't like high end versions of a point blanket, and they were made in not Canada, but also I don't know. I don't know if they were made in China or I don't remember, but they weren't made. And then they had like a wool one, which I feel like was made in England, which is where they originally were. And for people who don't know, talking about one of these. So this is a vintage one, and this is an actual Hudson Bay, original made in England wool blanket. But yeah, this is very iconic, traditional Canadian.
I didn't even know it was English.
Yeah.
I guess everything is from England, if it's old enough.
Yeah. Look what I just bought. Point blanket down jacket, down vest. So, just trying to have my Canadian roots.
Yeah, he just got this in the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
But it was a find that we couldn't pass.
I couldn't pass it. I had to get it. I think if you get... Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Go to the Bay, whichever... In Vancouver, they're going to have like a flagship Hudson Bay store. And they usually have a Hudson's Bay collection area. And I would get something from there. I think that's... Actually, I think that is maybe the best thing to do.
Yeah, try and find something that's made in Canada in that area.
Yeah, try made in Canada, made in UK. I think is also acceptable. Just because, the heritage of Canada and the UK together, I think that kind of is a part of the story. Yeah, BD writes, much easier to find Indigenous crafts nowadays. It's really gone up, and so great to see all the makers. Usually, folks selling dream catchers shouldn't be. Right. Yeah, there's a lot of dollar store, tchotchke, native looking crafts. I avoid those. Those just doesn't feel real, But yeah, I haven't lived in Canada in a while, so I wouldn't know where to send you. But if there are like a native Indigenous people's store, there's got to be something in Vancouver that sells that kind of stuff. There's got to be. Maybe look that up. That would be something neat. Or go to the Bay and get some point blanket related items. I think those are kind of nice. There you go. I wanted, we Naked Famous, we worked with the Bay over like the last 15 years. We've worked with them and not worked with them. It's been an on and off relationship. And at one point, I was pitching the idea of doing a point blanket color Selvedge ID for like a Hudson Bay like Naked Famous jean, and like the buyer was really into it, and he was like, "Yeah, but I guess there's so many departments in that company. It's a big company. That company is older than Canada. So."
They have something to do with the founding.
I think
Canada,
they do,
right?
yeah. I don't know all the history exactly, but they were certainly part of that. So, he was like, my team is so far removed from like the Heritage Bay team. He's like, I could mention it, but like, it's It would have to be basically something like they would initiate, and
interesting.
Yeah. So anyhow, maybe one day we can get that one done, which I think would be nice. You know, it'd be pretty Canadian. But we'll see. Mike Knight writes, when I went to Canada, I brought home a bunch of maple syrup lollipops for everyone. Good choice. Yeah, maple syrup candy, definitely a great choice. You're going to be able to find that pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, because it's like you don't use maple syrup so often, and you give them like a thing. And I remember when I was a kid, like my dad went to Canada and brought home like a jug of maple syrup, and that sat there in our pantry for like years.
Yeah,
because it's just like we just don't eat pancakes so often.
Yeah, it's this is the most. If you can. Buy a can of maple syrup. Although it doesn't hold as... I guess you would have to pour this into a jar after. But like...
Who's using this on like a...
I just prefer the can. This can is also quite popular.
And they come in small size.
So this one's easy to get. This can is very iconic.
Yeah, but
me.
It's just so inconvenient.
Yeah. I just find it makes a nice gift. It looks nice. I like gifting these because it's just like... It's so old school feeling and looking. Like, here's a can of maple syrup. What we have to do is, in fact, the factory, one of our factory managers has a maple syrup farm, and he's made maple syrup for like and given us to the staff. But I think it would be kind of cool. Back in the day, one day we had an idea of making like some just, gifted like Naked and Famous Denim maple syrup, but I think we got to get on that again. But
no, that's just such a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
like, it's
definitely
it's
a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's great that we have this, like, we're directly connected to the source.
Yeah, Tova Cobra, why is it in a can? I'm gonna say that it's more like in keeping with an old school kind of feeling, That's just probably how they were distributed back in the day. And so a can or jug, like a ceramic jug probably. And there's just something nice about keeping it that way. Of course, you can get the one that... There's another one that comes in like a bottle shaped like a maple leaf. It's a little...
That is the default souvenir, very...
A lot of grocery stores will have like a maple syrup section, and like you'll find the can, you'll find the maple syrup bottle, like the maple leaf bottle. Yeah. You'll find a bunch of maple candy, maple butter. Like they'll have a bunch of stuff.
Or like it's always there at the airport, obviously, and it's that kind of the vibe. It's obvious, but it's not. It's not bad.
Yeah, right. It's not bad. Monkey, I put maple syrup on so much stuff.
Really?
As you should. It helps. It's like half the GDP of Canada is maple syrup. So thank you for supporting us.
And honey.
We do make a lot of honey in Canada. That's true.
In Quebec, especially.
Yeah. In Japan, so much, like all the maple syrup comes from Quebec, and a lot of the honey comes from Canada.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. When you go to the stores, like Canadian honey, Quebec honey, Quebec maple syrup, there's a lot of it.
Canadians love those sweet things.
Yeah, Canadian, but I don't find like Canada gets a good, like, I don't know if we're known for our honey.
I mean, I didn't know until like I started paying attention to things like that.
Yeah. BD writes, abuse maple syrup in a sliced tofu recipe with other things to make a savory with
sweet.
sticky bacon for a BLT sandwich. Bacon in quotes. Oh, a sliced tofu with maple syrup makes for a bacon replacement.
Because it gets crunchy, crispy.
I guess so.
Cook it?
I guess so. I've never done that.
Yeah, but also like maple and bacon is a thing.
Yeah.
People, I don't get it, but I get it.
It's like chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
You want that meat that's salty, savory. It's great.
I do not put maple syrup over chicken and waffles. I want chicken and waffles only sell savory. Although, like, waffles usually have, like, a little bit of sweetness.
I'm going to say that's the incorrect way to enjoy those.
No, that is the correct way.
Okay. Shang Style writes, speaking of Canada, saw a Reddit post the other day showing how Canadians switch between imperial and metric systems, e.g. cooking weather, Fahrenheit, height versus distance. Is that actually what happens? Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
They can't pick a lane. At least America picked a lane. Even though I think they're wrong, they're sticking to their philosophy. Whereas Canada just goes this side and that side.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I do remember. I think we've definitely talked about this before, but Canada has not picked a lane as to whether or not they want to be metric or not. Certain things are metric, certain things aren't. Your height is in feet, your weight is in pounds, the weather is in Celsius. It's we go in kilometers and not miles. The average Canadian doesn't know how many miles an hour they go. They have no idea. They have no idea how tall they are in centimeters. I have no clue how much I weigh in kilograms. No idea. I don't even know. But I know how much I weigh in pounds.
I think a kilo is like 1.9 pounds, so it's usually like half.
Don't ask me to do math. Just...
No, but it's very weird how you get, like, okay, Celsius and, pounds, like, I get it, like, I don't get it, but it's like, okay, like, maybe there's some, historic, like, thing behind it. But it's like, if you, like, measure the length, like, height in inches, feet, and then also use the same length in kilometers and meters, it just makes no sense.
Yeah. Cathedral Ring has it correct. 8 stone and 11 cans of syrup.
Stones are also like, I find it ridiculous.
Yeah, the Canadians make fun of the Americans, and then the British make fun of both. The British tend to make fun of the Americans for not being metric, and I'm like, you guys use stone.
Yeah,
like don't even talk to me about this. You're
not allowed to have an opinion about it unless you dump the stone system, whatever that is.
Okay.
And it's like your entire body is like 6 stones or something like that, and it's like, so that's a really big unit.
Yeah, it's not a small unit. Oh. Okay. BD, I don't even measure travel in kilometers. I measure by hours and time. That's a good way to do it. BD also says we had generations that used in way. Look, basically in Canada we used to be imperial, and like Brandon's dad, for example, like he's all imperial. Like metric stuff doesn't. Like he gets it, but
interesting.
Yeah. So it was like, even in, I think it was like the late 70s, early 80s, even America tried to go metric, and that was a whole thing. It's just that when America just basically abandoned it, Canada just went like half-assed and not whole. They didn't whole-ass the thing. So
that recent. Huh?
Yeah, it's relatively recent when the switch came. So
one day, all of a sudden, all the car manufacturers had to make like the speedometers in different units, and people were like forced to understand that.
Yeah, in our lifetime, seatbelts weren't mandated.
That's true.
So that's true. At one point, the cars were like, "Well, you got to put in seatbelts," and they were like, "Okay."
I mean, when we were kids, there was no child seats.
There were no. I mean, there might have been.
I'm sure when I was a baby, maybe they were not just. But there was. I don't think it was mandated.
No,
it
wasn't. Not like today.
No,
things have changed. Safety regulations have.
Today, like a 12-year-old needs to be in the child seat.
Something is it?
I don't know.
But I find that they're big.
You have to be relatively large to be outside of it.
Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I think to myself, like, we didn't have to do that when we were kids, and then it's like, yeah, but we were all dying. Not all of us, but some of us didn't make it because of that. So
I understand, but you can't,
can't child-proof the world.
No.
Monkey writes, there were riots about seatbelts.
Riots against or a fool?
I think against. I mean, I guess the idea is that this is the very most raw denim related topic, but it's just like I can understand the argument against, like, if
against what
I can understand against not having a seatbelt, just in the perspective of if you're allowed to ride a motorcycle, like, there's no seatbelt on your motorcycle. Like, why are you allowed to ride a motorcycle on the highway? It's like, how annoying would it be if you're driving your car without a seatbelt and some, like, bike cop pulls you over and it's like, you're not wearing a seatbelt. And it's like, well, neither are you, right?
But, I mean, I guess the logic is that like, yes, you should not wear a seatbelt on a motorcycle. You don't want to be tied down to it. But the mere fact that you can ride that legally on the freeway is like a contradictory.
Right.
If the safety is the most important thing on the road, then you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah. So anyhow, I just find that a little funny. It's just like, you're the one being really unsafe. Like, I might be being unsafe. That's fair. If I'm not wearing a seatbelt, I recommend you all wear your seatbelts. All right. But it's just like, if I get in a car accident at the same rate of speed, we both, I don't know. Anyhow, the point is, at least I have a car protecting me to some degree. I might be shot through the front windshield. That is a high likelihood. But you don't even have the windshield.
But this is why, like, to me, when, like, back in the days where you had to wear a seatbelt if you're on the front seat, makes sense.
Yeah.
The back seat? I don't see the point.
Yeah, also, Monkey also writes, no seatbelts in buses either. It's true. I remember when we were kids on the school bus, I remember having seatbelts, and then one year, we didn't have seatbelts in the back, and then I was like, what happened to the seatbelts? And then I think the bus driver told me, he's like, oh no, they're not safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you? I'm like, what? Wait. Yes. So, anyways, I don't know the answers to all of these things, but it does.
I'm sure you can argue both ways.
It does find a little funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so speaking of which, we were like, thinking of buying a car, and we were like looking into like customizing it and stuff, and then we saw this like really classic
Nissan.
Yeah, but we know about this really classic steering wheel. That was like just so beautiful, and I really wanted it. Like, I've been wanting it for a long time. Yeah. And it never occurred to me that it looks so good because it doesn't have
an airbag.
Yeah. It's like, oh wow, I did not even know. So the guy who I was talking about the customizing said, like, I'm not gonna put that in because I don't want to be a reason why you get into an accident and die. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah. I'm not going to remove an airbag for you. Yeah. You can do that yourself. Yeah, yeah. And it's like, wow.
It was really, because we were there, we're getting an old car and we're just, doing it up a little bit. And so we were just looking through parts. And so like one of the cars there had that old steering wheel. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one we want. And he's like, no, you don't. He's like, you need an airbag. And like immediately, both of our lights went off, and we're like, yes, yes,
I do want that.
Death is not preferable to life, so
that's why all these steering wheels, modern steering wheels, look ugly because they have to contain an airbag.
They have to protect your noggin. Makes sense. Cathedral Ring writes, this is a true story. Seatbelts are mandatory in Georgia, in the United States, except for trucks. The reason is because the senator who was too obese for his own amended the bill to exclude them. See? There you go.
Trucks?
Yeah, I guess he was an El Gordo, and he couldn't wear a seatbelt or was uncomfortable wearing a seatbelt, so he's like, I'm going to make an amendment for me.
And just for trucks? Like he drove
I guess he drove a truck. So let that be a lesson to everybody that they're in it for themselves. Salve Jardin writes, motorcycles. If you tap your front brake on a turn, you had better be wearing a helmet. There you go. Motorcycles terrify me. Even the fact Brandon likes motorcycles. He's gotten into motorcycles the last couple of years. In fact, on his Instagram, he's finally decided that he needs to let go. He bought a bunch of old cool motorcycles, and he's like, I have too many motorcycles now. It's definitely a first world problem, by the way. But
and also in Canada or in
Quebec
at least, you cannot ride this for most of the year.
In fact, in Quebec, it's not only that you shouldn't because of the conditions. It's actually illegal to. You cannot put those on the road. So there's only a small window of the year where you can actually ride it. And I'm like, Brandon, this is. Please be safe. Just motorcycles scare me. They just scare me.
That's a legitimate fear, I think, because it is statistically very dangerous.
Yeah. So be careful, everybody. Not just on motorcycles, in everything, in every way. Be safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can also see the appeal.
I definitely can see that. Yeah. I've played the video games. It feels like a lot of fun. But in real life, I'll leave it to the professionals. Colleen writes, some people ride year-round in the snow and everything. Yeah.
To be fair, there's always a guy or two that rides a unicycle in the
That's true.
Very heavy snow.
Yeah.
So.
In Montreal, there's always a unicycle guy. Always. Rain or snow, doesn't matter. The unicycle guy is out and about. There is a clown. I'm not using this in a derogatory term, but there is a clown culture in Montreal. I think Cirque du Soleil definitely has something to do with that. But as far as performers, performative type of people, there's a lot of them. They're out and about, and that's their life. They're doing stuff, and they're doing whether they're balancing on stuff or juggling or whatever it is. There's somebody out there.
Fun fact, I myself can ride a unicycle. I don't know about now. Maybe if you put in, but it's they say it's once you learn a bicycle. So I should be able to ride a unicycle because as a child it was mandated that I learn. It's in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we had a big balcony back then at home. So we we owned a unicycle at home, so we can practice.
Where is this unicycle?
I think we threw it away a long time ago. But yeah, so my sister went to the same school, so she had to go through it. So I think when she had to go through it, they bought it, and then I was able to learn it on there too.
I see. There you go. Risa can ride a unicycle.
Yes.
Okay, one more general Canadian type question, and we'll move it along. Salve Jardin writes, as a kid, whenever we visited north of the border, we had to stock up on cherry blossoms, chocolate covered cherries we could not get in the States. Let me tell you about cherry blossoms. Perhaps the worst packaging ever, but so bad that it has come full circle that it is good. And I think you can pretty much only buy these at Dollarama now. Let me pull it up for you. Cherry blossom chocolate. Canada. Oh, you've definitely seen these because the packaging is the worst, best thing you've ever seen.
I have seen it.
Just there's something gross about this. You know what I mean? We all see it.
Has it always been this yellow also?
It's always been this yellow. I've never seen this. But in my life, it's always been this little box. It's always been that. And it's like, do I want this? This is
seems like a goop coming
Give me this box.
Yeah,
that is
that's a
definitely
great box.
better.
That one, yeah.
I guess they have the picture on the top, but I always see it like this. And I'm like,
ugh.
Yeah, because like this is how you'll see them in the store. And you're like, oh, I see. I don't want that. So
I've never had it actually. Yeah.
I don't know if you're missing out on too much, but it is very, very much a Canadian thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not really into chocolate with
cherries in it.
Yeah.
BD writes, my dad loves a good cherry blossom. Little cardboard box makes no sense. Yeah, I feel very patriotic right now. So very. BD writes, it's like Eat More wrapped around the cherry and sugar. Eat More, I happen to really like. I don't think they have these anywhere else but Canada. This is also a very Canadian candy bar.
I've never seen this.
It is like a sticky taffy-like chocolate with nuts in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very... I'm going to go with very Canadian. I've never seen these anywhere else.
Is it the texture kind of like fruit roll-up, but like thicker?
I would say thicker, yeah.
Yeah. I think I've had something like this before, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, very chewy. The ad for these when I was a kid was a very long chew. You would eat it, it'd be some guy in the woods, and he'd be like, just chewing on it forever.
That's weird.
Yeah. There you go. So there's some Canadian treats to look for while you enjoy your trip to Canada. James Morgan also writes, Coffee Crisp. Coffee Crisp is very good. I think that one is also uniquely Canadian. All right, I want to do one more.
Yes, I like this.
Coffee Crisp. Very good. It is a coffee flavored like wafer chocolate type of candy bar. Yeah, very very nice. If you come to Canada, pick up a couple of these.
They should make this with dark chocolate. Though.
I'm sure they have. They seem to have different flavors. Here's a double, which is a Canadian term for 2 milks and 2 sugars. So if you go to a Tim Hortons restaurant, you will often see people ordering. They won't even order a coffee. They'll just say, I'll have a medium double, which is a medium coffee, 2 cream, 2 sugar. That's it. And mind you, a Tim Hortons 2 cream, 2 sugar is just a gargantuan sugar bomb. It basically, you have to have that much sugar and cream in there to cover up the taste of the...
No,
I'm going to go, not best coffee in the world.
But do they own the term? Is this like a...
I don't think they own the term. I don't think they can own that term. That's just Canadian vernacular. It's like saying a. Yeah.
Interesting. But they also use that term like in different ways. Like if you want just one of each, like you just go single.
No, you'd say like 1 cream, 1 sugar. And then if you're an absolute like sadist, you'll go triple. Triple is a
thing, but not a single.
Correct. Yeah. I've never heard anyone say single.
Or single double or double single or something like that.
Maybe single double, but it's triple, quadruple. If you hear quadruple, call the hospital, because that guy is gonna go into like a diabetic shock in a few minutes.
But another thing is that if you order small with double, it's way worse than like
correct
the large coffee with double.
It is.
It just makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Yeah. Tilbur Cobra writes, while in Canada, I'm going on a tour that includes a trip to Tim Hortons. All trips to Canada include a trip to Tim Hortons. It doesn't matter. Like we can like rag on Tim Hortons as much as we want.
That's a big GDP of your country, probably.
But like the reality is that we all go there. It's just it is in the Canadian DNA where you're just like, oh, there's a Tim Hortons. Might as well go get a coffee and a pack of Timbits. That's just what we do. We cannot. It is like a firefly, like a a bug. No, the lights. Bugs are going to the light. That's us. We just see a Tim Hortons. We're like, let's go. Gotta go. Will Chan, double is disgusting. What a disrespect to the coffee itself. Tim Hortons isn't trying to respect coffee. They just serve it. So to the good people at Tim Hortons, I'm ragging on you a little bit. Sorry, but what can we do? We still love you. Montreal's Bernie Beignet is the new OP. I do not know what that is, but I'm gonna go with okay, correct.
Beignet donut?
Yes, but I don't know.
What OP is?
I don't know. OP, like a top tier, maybe like a high level.
All right.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you. That's the best way to go about that. Okay. Let's. Okay. Jeremy Didson just joined. Did you guys talk about the Shinigami denim that Garrett showed off? We haven't talked about it on this particular live stream just yet, so let's jump into that. It's a good segue there. So in the last episode of this week at Tate and Yoko, we did a special on black denim. So we showed off all the black denim options that we have. There were some styling tips, advice, that type of stuff. Everything from the black power stretch and black cobra to the solid black selvage, and some previews of some new black options that we have. The Shinigami Selvedge, which is going to be coming out for fall winter 24, and he also did a slight preview of the Empire State Selvedge blacked out edition. So the new iteration of the Empire State Selvedge in an all black form. So starting off with the Shinigami, this is, Garrett wasn't quite sure on all the details, but we're going to give you all the details right here. That is the original Akuma denim. It came out again as the Trunks denim. We did a smaller production of the Majin Buu denim with the pink Selvedge ID for the Dragon Ball collection. So this denim has been one of our most sought after denims we've ever produced, and it was only ever offered in collaboration form. It never came out as mainline Naked Famous, and it's been like 4 years since Dragon Ball, maybe 6 years since Akuma. Like, it's been a while since that denim has made an appearance. So we're bringing it back in its exact same construction. 18 ounces, heavyweight, big slub. The only difference is you're not going to have that collaboration branding on it. So it's going to have the classic Naked and Famous denim branding all over. And it'll be a rather general release. So I think it's going to be a popular release, but it will be available
from
so
a lot of different retailers. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So if you want it, you missed it, you want to get another one, you can get it. The fading potential on that denim is quite high. As you guys know, you've seen the fades. Garrett showed off some faded Trunks denims that we had. So if you had it before, you'd like to get it again, or you've just heard about it, or maybe you're hearing about it for the first time, this is going to be a great opportunity for you guys to get a heavyweight, big slub black denim with unbelievably incredible fading properties. So I wouldn't say unbelievable. Maybe I use that word too much because it is believable. You've seen it. You've seen it. Now you believe it. A believable faded result. So.
And the Selvedge ID is like this, like a red, orange kind of color, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So
it's different from the previous releases, although
because this one has more of a ticker on it, whereas before it was just like a thick line, right? Yeah. So different in that respect. So Shinigami Selvedge, I think it's going to be one of the more popular releases for the fall. If you don't have if you don't have a black jean in your collection yet, or if you don't have a heavyweight black jean in your collection yet, this is a great option for you to get in on that. So I'm excited for this one. This is going to be. I know this one is. I love this fabric, and I know the fans are going to enjoy this one a lot, and I'm happy to bring it back. The Akuma denim in our history was the number one most requested jean to bring back ever. In our, like, you know, when you sign up for those, like, back in stock notifications, like, we can see what people like, right? So, you know, we use our data, and we're like, well, this is what the people like, so let's use that let's use information to make products for the people who want products like that. So, I mean, Trunks, Akuma, those were always re-requested on those back in stocks. And to make it even more crazy is that we've taken those products down years ago, but like while those product pages were up, the amount that like the back in stocks accumulated to this very day, even though they have been offline for years, are still the top items.
Yeah, and I don't think anything is going to get
Nothing is going to top it.
Yeah.
So it's coming soon, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And then Empire State 2. We have those coming out. Those are going to be coming out in July. We're gonna do a release while we're in New York. So we're gonna be in New York from July 15th to the 18th, something around there. 15th, maybe we won't be in the store. I think we're coming to New York that day. But 16, 17, 18, one of these days, from the 15th to the 18th, we're going to do some kind of meet and greet event in the store like we did last time. Little after hours, but you know, we just kind of invite the raw denim community to come down. And we're gonna make it available while we're there. So if you come in during the day, you'd like to shop for it, you know, we're there. You know, we can present it to you, that kind of thing. So that is going to be the broken twill. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 12.5 ounce weight. Broken twill, not particularly rigid. It has got a great body to the denim, a little bit more drapey. All black broken twill with the orange, blue, and white, the colors of New York, the New York City flag colors on the Selvedge ID. And of course, those colors are often represented in all your New York City sports teams as well. So if you want to match up with your sporting apparel, I think it's a great combination there as well. So Empire State 2, that is not replacing the original one. It's just that the original one has been sold out for a while. Fabric is, it just, this one, I don't know, it's just been taking a while to get the fabric restocked, but we should be able to restock the indigo version sometime in the fall, probably closer to Q4. So if you've been waiting for the indigo model, it's coming back. I just don't have an exact date on that yet, but this is the in-store exclusive. You can only buy it in-store, and the reasoning for that is simply, we wanted to create a real souvenir. You know, we talked about, you know, earlier in the stream, like going to Canada, like what do you buy as a souvenir? Like what can you only get in Canada? You know, what is uniquely Canadian? Well, the Empire State Selvedge is, you know, New York wrapped up in Japanese denim, only available in New York. You know, it's not something you can buy online. You have to make the trip. You have to come to the store. You have to try it on. You don't actually have to try it on. You could just buy it. But it I don't know. In this world, you know, we live in now, everything's all accessible everywhere, and it makes, I don't know, it makes shopping a little.
Yeah.
The treasure hunt just doesn't feel the same way. Now it's like, I'm gonna say we're less guilty of this, but you know, now if you want something special, it's kind of like, you have to buy it on the release date at the exact time, and you know, there's a lot of that in the world. Every now and then, like I see some like sneaker I want online, and it's like, yeah, well, sign up for this online lottery. I'm like, I just want to buy the shoe. Can I just buy the shoe? Like, you know, we don't. I'm gonna say that with us, it's not like, you know, when we do a collaboration item, we make as many as we think we're gonna sell. Really, like I'm not trying to like choke the market here. Like we want to sell as many jeans as we can.
Yeah, and we also have limited resources, so we can't make bajillion and hope to sell as much as we can sell. Like we have to. We try
to get that fine line of like, we made just enough, you know, to appease everybody.
We don't want to be sitting on the stock and have to mark down anything like that.
Right.
So that's the challenge.
we're not making 50 pairs and being like, haha, we made 50 pairs. Right. And we're going to make you guys do a dance to buy these.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. Okay. But I do like the idea of this is special because I bought it somewhere special or I got it somewhere special.
Right.
And, by making it an in-store thing, if you come to New York, you want to come home, whether you're from New York or you're from somewhere else, you came to New York, you want to take a little bit of the place you went to home with you. And it feels cheap when, well, I could have just bought that on the internet. Or, you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel like there was what was the point of me going to that store over there where I could have just done it from the convenience of my home, and instead of spending time there, I could have, went to a restaurant I couldn't have gone to, something like that, so.
Right. No, but the hunt is sometimes really fun, and especially for, if you don't live in New York City, the hunt is a little bit more of an adventure, you plan a trip, like if you really want the jeans, you will plan a trip around it, which kind of motivates it. Like sometimes things that you feel like, you want enough that you will make a plan around it, and you enjoy the plan. You go to the city, you have nice meals, you go on a trip. These kinds of things are a good motivation for people to make, enjoy life. So
yeah.
I think we wanted that kind of a positive experience around it. We're not trying to be gatekeepers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something that you only get from in-store purchases. So
yeah.
To be fair, if you really the beauty of New York City is that somebody's always going to New York.
Right.
Somebody is always going to New York. So if you really, really want the jeans, but that's just not an option for you to travel there.
Yeah.
You can send your friends to pick it up in store too. We don't make the jean only exclusive to person who came to the store.
Yeah,
you can buy for other people.
Right. Adam Brown writes, "Hail adventurers. I have a question about the in-store exclusive jeans. What happens if I drive all the way to New York store and my fit and size aren't available? How is that handled?" Well, I would recommend giving the store a call in advance. We do put the measurements online, so you can at least gauge what size you're going to be. If it's something that you really, you're coming to New York for and you want to try them on, give the store a call and they can put them aside for you. Because they're not online, there's no chance of them being bought up. They're not going to hold it for you for a month, but if you're like, hey, I'm coming down next week or, a couple days, they'll hold it for you. And unfortunately, if you come to the store and they don't have your size, we don't have your size. That's sometimes the way life goes.
But that's also the part of,
yeah.
just serendipitous. Sometimes you get there and you find your size.
Yeah. So that said, we do try to keep stock. The Empire one, we're definitely going to do a better job of keeping it in stock. But yeah, that's just the way the way it goes sometimes with these kinds of things. Okay. Stephen Kobelcam writes, will there be a featherweight option for the next summer, perhaps? Featherweight, I wouldn't say, we're not going to go lighter than 8-9 ounces. Mm-hmm. Really? I think this 10 ounces is a good, I think that's the best weight for lightweight. Once you get under 8 ounces, you're really getting into shirting denim territory, and as comfortable as they can be, you really sacrifice durability on that. They're light, but you have to be very delicate with them.
Yeah.
They're not going to hold up the same way a 10-ounce denim is. They're not going to hold up like a 12-ounce denim. That is, cruising speed only.
Yeah,
and
those only work if you wear it loose and, that kind of style. And, if we're making jeans, we want to make jeans in all the fits, including Super Guy, and we can't, tell customers like you have to, size up or whatever.
Right.
So that's the difficulty, I guess.
Yeah. So there will be lightweight options next spring. Every spring we always have lightweight options, but as far as like featherweight, like the lightest possible, we've done some of them before. They've been okay, but I prefer to keep it in a, Stephen writes 8-9 ounces is good enough for me. Yeah, 8, 9, 10 ounces is where I'd like to keep things in lightweight land. Okay. Syed writes, what should I do? I like the easy guy fit and taper, but I like the weird guy rise. The easy guy rise is too high for me, but the weird guy taper is not tapered enough. What should you do? You like the rise. You like the rise of the weird guy, but you don't like how wide the leg opening is. You could do something as simple as like pin rolling your jeans. So I'm not going to show my feet on the internet too much. But I don't know. I think there's perverts out there who are just, they want to see hairy man feet. But what you can do is you can take like the side of your jean like this, and you just kind of wrap it like that, and then you roll the jean. So if you're born in the 80s, you kind of know this trick already. And then that can just easily taper your leg. So this is a true guy, but now I have a small leg opening around, and you just do one roll, maybe 2 rolls, and that stays put all day. So you get a nice little cuff. You can still show your Selvedge ID, and I think that's the best thing that you can do. Just do it's called a pin roll. If that demonstration wasn't clear for you, just search it on YouTube. I'm sure somebody will show you how to pin roll jeans. And you basically just fold the side over, roll it up. It's gonna hold. No alterations necessary. So if you want them to be tighter or looser, you control the width, the leg opening of your jeans with a pin roll. And if you want to wear them with sneakers, you want to wear them with boots. Now you've got all the options, and you got the rise that you want. So that is my advice to you. Get the weird guy and just pin roll them. Tofu Cobra, out of curiosity, what is the lightest weight jeans you can make? I mean, technically you can make it as light as the fabric can get. It's just
whether it's gonna hold up or not.
That's the real question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we made it like 5 ounce.
5 ounce.
Yeah,
I think 5 ounce is the lightest we ever did.
Made. Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically shirting denim, and
it was shirting.
Yeah, and
it just it's
too light. It's too light.
It's possible, and it's some people like it, but again, it's just not so practical.
Yeah. If they're like really wide drapey, you can get away with it.
Like trousers in the lighter weights can exist. We're not saying that it's not like wearable.
Yeah,
it's just there's a good balance.
Yeah. Sam Wang writes, just got your Wonder Looper t-shirt, and wow, that shirt is no joke. By far the most overbuilt t-shirt I've ever seen. Wonder Looper t-shirt lasts for a decade easily. I won't make any claims as it to lasting for a decade, but they can. I think they're going to last a long time.
Yeah. But there's just.
I'm glad that you enjoy them. They they sell out fast. So.
Yeah, but speaking of overbuilt, is that the word you use?
Yeah.
There's more.
There's a triple heavyweight coming. That one is literally
way too much.
Yeah.
It's just like in every sense of the word, it's way too much. But sometimes you gotta go over the top.
There's overkill, and then there's like you kill the zombie, you reanimate it, and then you kill it again. And that's I don't know that there's. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just, we kept doing, we're just like, we can't stop. We're just going to keep making it until we get to the end. And it cannot be built any higher than this. So wait for the triple heavyweight, because that is the definition
of overkill.
That's it.
Overkill and overkill.
Yeah. Triple kill, quadro kill. I'm trying to remember Unreal Tournament. You never played that game when you were a kid, eh?
Which?
Bingo. Unreal Tournament. There was
Oh, that's a game name?
It was a game, yeah. And, it was like a first-person shooter game, and you kill someone. If you killed, you got 2 kills right away, you get a double kill. If you killed, 3 people, you get triple kill and ultra kill. So, it just felt good to, go on a massive spree like that. And I'm just trying to remember, what the top level was. Was it ultra kill? I don't remember. Sam Wang, triple kill. Yeah. Good times. I skipped a lot of school to play Unreal Tournament. I would go, there was a time where, I would basically live at the arcade, and sometimes I would, I'd go to school, and then I'd go home for lunch, which, I just wanted to, play. I actually would usually just go home to play Unreal Tournament, and then I'm just not going back to school.
The beauty of Mason stories like this is that you connect the dots after a while, because he says that about a lot of things. That's Revolution.
Yeah.
I guess that was not at home,
Yeah.
but I skipped school to play this game. I skipped school to play this game. It's how many days did you go to school? A lot.
I didn't go to school. By the end of school, I was not there. I don't know how I got it. I do not, to this very day, I'm just they gave me a diploma. Mm-hmm. My name is on a high school diploma.
That explains to me why you cannot do simple math.
Yeah. Well, I can do I'm not good at, once the letters are involved. When letters got involved in math, I was why? Why? Yeah. Too much for me. Yeah, I'm very poorly math literate. That was also poor English there. There you go. Anyhow, I know about jeans. Vince Chan, monster kill. That's it. Sam Wang writes, will you be coming out with a lighter fabric t-shirt? For Wonder Looper, the answer is yes. Okay, guys, we are at that point of the show where I'm going to do my best Bernie Sanders. Once again, I'm going to ask you guys to do a like and a subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost much. It's less than a cup of coffee an hour for you guys to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, tell a friend.
Tell a friend is a good one.
Tell a friend about us. If they're even remotely interested in raw denim, tell them about this crazy guy on the internet, him and his wife, who talk about jeans for 2 hours every day, free for you.
Yeah.
And
we often talk about other things.
If you like Japan or semi nostalgic conversations about video games,
or Canada,
and Japan.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that already.
I mentioned that earlier. America. We talk about it all. Some good rants, maybe some conspiracy theories. Everyone likes that's popular on the internet. It wasn't that they didn't land on the moon. Does the moon even exist?
Another level.
That's another level.
Yeah.
People are still worried about if the moon landing happened. Guys.
What is that thing?
That is not. That is an alien spacecraft.
Mapping?
That's been. Yeah.
Like a space station.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the Death Star. Yeah. They're watching us. Richard Meza knows it's the flat moon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's.
It's like the Death Star, but it's flat. Right. It's not a sphere.
Okay.
It's like a flying saucer.
But.
Yeah, and
upright.
Just rotating. Yeah.
I see. Do people live there?
Yep.
Okay.
The lizard people. Yeah. So, guys, if you guys have seen They Live, starring Roddy Piper, that wasn't just a movie. That was a documentary. So, if you like that kind of content, mixed in with the denim-related content and everything in between, hit the like button, share, and tell your friends all about us, because we would appreciate it. But you don't have to. It's not... Make your own choices. Okay. That said, I wanted to talk a little bit about last week's topic. We ended on I guess inflation is a topic on a lot of people's minds these days. The prices of everything is going up. I think BD writes Jeanflation time. Let's talk about Jeanflation, because I will say that our prices have gone up over time. When Naked and Famous Denim started, you could definitely get a pair of jeans for about $120 Canadian. Mind you, the Canadian US currency were about par at the time, so about $120 US at the same time. Nowadays, I think the opening price point for a pair of Naked and Famous Denim jeans, let's look that up.
160 or 155.
155?
Indigo Selvedge.
Indigo Selvedge. Yeah. So that's our... Oh, I shouldn't have closed that window. I'll look that up. Hold on a second. I gotta bring some things up. There we go. So on Tate and Yoko, if you go and you look at our jeans, the Indigo Selvedge denim, let's go priced low to high. That's going to bring up a lot of random stuff, but let's just browse the website together. So we're over here at Tate and Yoko land. A lot of great deals right now, by the way. A lot of
$17.
$17 for a pocket tee, and it's only because they're like the last ones. So we just
there's a lot of small.
There's a lot of randoms. Yeah, if you're small, buy these. That's a great deal. It's a great deal. Great deal, everybody. But our Indigo, and there's also a lot of good deals on jeans and stuff in general. Anyhow, I can just look it up. Yes. 011083. That's my favorite number. $155 US. A little bit more money in Canadian dollars because of currency conversions. We don't really control that. If we did, it would be in another industry. But $155 in today's money compared. Let's just do a little adjustment. So let's go 2008 to 2004. If in 2008 we paid
2024, you mean?
Yeah, 2024. So if we paid $120 for a pair of jeans, Naked Famous Denim jeans in 2008, in 2024 money, what do we got? In fact, it's less. So
yeah, we're fighting against inflation.
We're fighting against inflation in some ways. I'm gonna say in a lot of ways, in our product pricing, especially the core stuff, we don't like to mess around with the pricing too much. We will take the punches as we have to take them. Sometimes we take a little bit less margin on things here and there. We want to maintain certain price points. We want to be the Arizona iced tea in a lot of ways of the raw denim world. So sometimes some prices don't make sense. Sometimes the prices are too low. This is a case where this jean might have been around $120 when it came out. With the way the money works, the way the funny money works over the years, maybe this should be $175 today. We have it for $155. We're just probably taking the hits on that one.
Mm-hmm. It's also like it's a lot of work to change prices.
Yes. It is a lot of work to change prices. So that said, you might notice that some of the newer products that we put out are a little bit more pricey than some of the core items. But again, we are fighting against a wave of increased costs, and everything is going to contribute to that, whether it's the shipping or labor costs or material costs. Everything adds up, and everything will slowly contribute to some price increases. But is it a matter of like the price of the item getting more expensive, or is it just that the value of your money is getting less?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this is not economics 101. I wouldn't even call it 101, but again, I'm not going to be the mathematician here who's going to explain all of the price changes to you, but you can understand how some of our pricing is going up as you look out into the world today, and you see just in general the prices for a lot of things are going up. Like left hand tool Sky Blue Edition, $199 versus looking at 012773, another favorite of mine. So $165 on the left hand tool. We've definitely kept that left hand tool price very tight for a long time. Mind you, we do benefit in terms of like the left-hand tool. We make a lot of it. That's not a seasonal release. This is a core release. We make tons and tons and tons of volume. And, even if, the mill might charge us a little bit more, we can spread that out, among, all the many jeans that we're going to make.
mill's gonna help us a little bit more on this because we've been running this for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
Whereas like something that we're gonna do seasonally, the mill is like less willing to like negotiate on the price as well.
Because they can keep this fabric running all the time. Like, we're always gonna order this. Every like 3 months we're ordering it. So this is something that the factory is always making, right? Whereas the left-hand twill in like Sky Blue Edition, that's a one-hitter. So they have to order the yarn separate for this one, and it's just, you know, you have to set up the machines to make this fabric. So that's going to be a little bit more of an increased cost there, and you're ultimately you're going to pay a little bit more for that. So the more custom you get, the more it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's also like, you know, it costs us to produce a new item. We have to come up with the idea. We have to figure out how to, you know, make it happen. We have to sample a couple times, and we also have to, you know, like have pocket flasher designed. You know, sometimes we have to order the trims for this items and all that stuff. So like there's more work and more cost involved with developing, you know, seasonal items.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why like you see that, and the fact of the matter is like we're not gonna have like, oh, like our jeans are supposed to be $200, so like everything is gonna be $200. Like our pricing are actually based off of fabric, you know, very real cost of like fabric and, you know, all the things that's involved with it. So I think we're very honest in terms of how we price our products.
Yeah. So there's that aspect of it. You know, a good point is that with the seasonal items. Yeah, we do have to. There's artwork that has to be created that's going to be used for one season. Whereas, like, you know, if you pay for artwork that is going to be used, you know, indefinitely, you know, the cost performance on that is definitely going to be a lot better. So, those are things to consider. But how have jean prices changed over the years? And so I had to do a little digging. I had to go through my textbooks of information, and I would recommend, if you guys don't already own this book, go and buy this book. This is it's not a Naked and Famous book, as you can tell. It's another company, the Big L, the Big Levi's. This is a fantastic book. In Japanese yen, the price on the back is 9,259, very specific number. So in American dollars, it's probably like, you know, $75. So it is I don't know if that's a pricey book or not a pricey book, but I think it's well worth the price. Number one, just as far as the quality of the book is concerned, it's not made of denim, but it has like this denim-y kind of texture to it, which is really nice. And this is...
It's its own jacket, but they have the one.
They have one on jeans as well. Also. But this particular one, and just to give you a preview, it's just like a bunch of photos. I have my bookmark. Oh, I lost my bookmark.
Oh,
it's okay. Photos of like faded jackets, and then they talk about the history of you know, these pieces throughout the ages. So a lot of this is from like Japanese collectors, and the Japanese have been collecting these jackets before the West figured out that these were collectible. So a lot of the rarest like vintage jeans and garments are here in Japan. And I find that to be quite interesting. So in here, you know, they have, you know, documented like old like paperwork from the brand. And now I'm just going to have to look for it. But they had... they had old order forms and price guides for jeans and jean jackets and stuff, and so I just wanted to look them up. Here, for example, this is a 1942 price list, and they sold, interestingly, and some brands still do this, so this would be called a pre-pack. So a pre-pack in the wholesale world is when you buy something, but you have to buy it in a fixed amount. So if you're buying, say, beanies, like caps, you know, the pre-pack might be 6. So like the cost per item might be, you know, let's just say $10, but you have to buy them in packs of 6. So you always have to spend $60.
It's like Costco.
Right? Yeah.
You get a better deal because
you're buying in bulk. So, for example, here in 1942, they had... if you wanted to buy a 12-pack per dozen of 501 jeans, the wholesale cost was $20.50 for the lot. And I don't have the retail price back then, but if we do the math, what's going on there? The cats are doing something. So $20.50 divided by 12. So the cost per jean might have been $1.70. And just double that. That's about, what you would expect. So 1.7 times 2, you're looking at $3.40. And if we go to the good old inflation calculator, and we're looking at a 1942 jean, what did I say the retail price of that was? $3.40. You're looking at jeans that cost about $65, right? And I still think today you can go, mind you, you're not buying a Selvedge jean, you're not buying it made in USA, but you are still getting a pair of jeans from a lot of jeans companies. I think if you really push it, you could probably make a American-made jean. I don't know where the denim would come from for $65 today. It is probably like if you had it in like a very slim margin, you could probably like
if you're direct to consumer
slim margin, you could probably hit that price point today. Probably. But I would say that as far as like the price, as far as like in terms of your time, the time that it would take you to work in order to afford just a very basic pair of jeans, I would say that inflation, like as far as your time is concerned, things haven't changed that much. Now, mind you, what we're doing today, is we're kind of working against the grain, because while they were certainly trying to be as efficient as they were with the products that they made, with the kinds of products that we make, we're kind of going against that. We're really being inefficient in a lot of ways, but in order to create things the way that they used to make them back then. Whereas they were, when wide width denim came out, they were like, give me that stuff, because that stuff is made faster, it's made cheaper, I want it. And so I can continue to keep the same price point, as far as like quality is concerned, in terms of durability. If you're just thinking at it like at a workwear kind of standpoint, I would say that not much has changed. But as far as like the character of the denim, that's where, things started to lose a little bit of its charm, I would say, because, there is something about jank. Sometimes janky things take on a life of their own, and they just have their own beauty. So I would say that, as far as prices for Naked and Famous Denim products, I think we've maintained we've kept prices lower than maybe what they should be sold for. And as far as anything else, you still find, of course we're making a little bit more specialized fabrics than we did at the very, very start of the brand, so you can expect to pay more for that. But I think as far as like, the time it takes you to earn the amount of money to buy one of our jeans, not much has actually changed in the last 15 years. Like, we haven't inflated prices to the, like we kept up with inflation in that respect, but we didn't if you, how can I say it? When I look at like luxury brands, I feel like the price that they're asking for similar items that they were charging in the past, instead of just kind of keeping up with the inflation, they blew up the prices. And I understand this because when I worked at Holt Renfrew, this is a luxury department store in Canada. I'm sure many of you guys know I used to work there. I talk about it all the time. I remember at one point we had a new president of the company, and every time you get a new leader, you got some kind of new cockamamie scheme, and I'm gonna call it cockamamie. It was a caca scheme, and it was not great for business. And their plan was, 20% of our customer base make up like a large portion of our business, and that customer base are high spenders. So let's just cater to the high spender. And so at one point, and it hurt me the most because I was working like the denim department, they got rid of like a lot of the, like, the bottom price point. Mind you, the price point in our store was very high, but they got rid of the bottom, like the entry price points in our departments, and it was like, you know, a $50 T-shirt back then was still a $50 T-shirt, right? I feel like a $50 T-shirt today is still, you know, it's not cheap, right? Not cheap. But, you know, if you could get a logo tee, you know, $55, $65 T-shirt, you know, a branded T-shirt, that got, like, you know, the younger people into the door, they could buy something, right? Yeah. And they got rid of that. And they got rid of all these low price points because they wanted to be like, yo, we're only going to sell $300 T-shirts. And it was like, this isn't going to work. And it didn't work. Like, it worked to, like, some people bought that stuff, but, like, all the people who were like, well, you know, that's just a little too rich for my blood. Yeah. They just went somewhere else. And, you know, when you lose those people, they shop at that new place now. Yeah. Like, they just feel like this place doesn't have something for you. And to re-attract them again, anyways, disaster.
And the whole point of, like, having a luxury department store is that you always have to recruit younger generation because, you know, you want them to become a customer, like a regular customer that it's you know, eventually going to be a high spender when they make more money. But you got to get them when they're younger because everybody's competing for that. Yeah,
I remember very specifically during our sales training there. I don't know if they do sales training anymore, but we had like a week long, like you know, full day of training, and I remember they were just teaching us about like customer types and customer profiles, and it was like, you know, you've got exactly what you talked about. You had like the young people, then you had like, you know, middle age, you know, and then you had, it wasn't just necessarily that older people were the highest spenders, but it was like, you know, you had like the people who had like, you know, medium to high income, and they'll treat themselves every now and then you had like profile, like, you know, S tier, where it was just like, these are really rich people. Like, they come in many shapes and forms, but like these people don't, they spend. They want the best, and money's not a problem. Yeah. So like they were just teaching us about that. But like the important part was that they were like, and especially in the departments I worked in, it was like younger people. And it was like, these are people who are, you know, they've got a little bit more money and they want to start buying a little bit better, and, you know, they're not going to buy the you know, the $5,000 suit. They're not going to do that.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But they might come in for the $800 to $1,000 suit, or, you know, the $175 to $225 jeans. They're going to come in for those, and maybe they'll buy the, you know, the super fancy luxury jeans when they're older. Probably not, because they're really, there's the value proposition there isn't the same. But the point was that, like, you know, you wanted to recruit this younger generation. But the luxury brands today, I think they just took the idea of just cater to the top. And like the higher the price, that's the selling feature. Where it's like, this purse is now, it used to be $6,500, and now this year it's going to be $8,000. And then, like, over just, you know, a 1 year change difference for the same bag, they're just like, yep, we just want the people who can afford it to have it. The price is not correlated to the product in any way. It's just, we're making this stuff up. I don't know. How do you guys feel about our pricing in general? I think for what we do, we're the most competitive pricing around.
Yeah. And it's by design, right? Like, we own our own factory. Most of the denim brands do not own their own factory. And so for us, if factory is running, then we can keep it going. Yeah. Whereas for most brands who don't own their factory, they have to, you know, make sure that what they're being priced from the factory, including their profit, they have to make profit too. So it's just like one less, you know, layer of profits that we can skip.
And we also own our own buildings. So like our office building and warehouse, like where you see like this week at Tate and Yoko, and like even where like the store downstairs, like we don't pay rent for that. Like, we own the entire property. So
and it's passed down from
Brandon's grandfather. Yeah.
So, like, it's not like we invested in real estate, like, recently and that we don't pay rent now. It's not that. It's just, like, we got a good deal.
Yeah, that bill was covered in the 80s. So we've had that building for a very, very long time. So it's not something that we even have to factor in, really. And there's building upkeep here and there and, you know, whatever. But it's not really something that needs to be factored into the prices so heavily. So we do our best to still deliver, you know, highly specialized fabrics, custom made, custom paid, and, you know, delivering it at a price point that is still reasonable. Of course, you know, there's going to be some fluctuation. With the Canadian dollar, it's just, the problem is, like, when it comes into currency conversion stuff, like, that gets a little bit tricky because, you know, we buy everything in, you know, even though we're a Canadian company and we're buying from Japan and we're paying in American dollars for everything. So it, you know, prices fluctuate and then we price everything in American dollars. So our Canadian retail prices are often simply just a conversion of the American price. But if the currency changes in between the time we price everything and when it comes out, like, we can't really adjust it because we've paid for it based off of that currency exchange. So sometimes it takes a while, if the Canadian dollar value goes up, it takes a while for that to be reflected in the Canadian retail prices.
Yeah.
But
and there's a lot of, you know, conversion because obviously, like, the mills are in Japan, so their pricing are Japanese yen converted to American dollar at the time of they're doing the conversion. Like, so it's like there's so many points where things can change pretty drastically. You know, like exchange rates could sometimes, you know, have a very quick turnaround. So it's just, you know, it's hard to, like, keep a finger on, was this the best price? Like, or are we making how much we're supposed to be making on this? It's hard to pinpoint down. We're still in business, so
we're still in business, so
I think that we're doing fine. But it also definitely helps that we're independent, family-owned company. And none of us live like kings. You know, it's like we're just, you know, we're very down-to-earth operation, and we don't have a state-of-the-art office. As you can see in the video.
There's no state-of-the-art office. You know, the thing about our office is it's like, it's pretty humble. It's
very patchy. Also. That like part flooded. Okay, we'll fix that. We'll patch it up. And then, like, that side has a problem. Okay, we put in the new flooring. It doesn't match anything, but you know. Okay.
Oh, you need internet access in this room. Okay, just run a cable across. It's just
it's very.
Hey, it's fun. You know, it works.
Homemade.
It works, and, like, you know, maybe for our 25th anniversary, well, who knows, you know. But, like, the point is, like, sometimes I see, you know, brands, look, people can spend their money the way they want. Sometimes the visual impression to them is what they're paying for. Like, we need to have this, you know, air of success, so we need you to see it, right? And so they spend a lot of money on, I'm not to say that our stores aren't beautiful, but they spend a lot of money on stores. Like, sometimes I see a store, I'm like, that's a $12,000 chair. That's a $12,000 chair. Like, I don't know. Like,
whether that is 12,000 or 1,000, would that affect the sale of the store?
Right.
Who knows? But, so, like, store is different because that's more front facing. Our office.
I guess that's true. The office is really, but yes. Anyhow, sometimes I see, like. Mind you, you might see nice things here and there, but don't worry, we bought it used. Don't worry, it was used. Sometimes I see a lot of money misplaced, and then, you know, sometimes I just see brands go down. You know, to be fair, just like any business, you see businesses come and go all the time, and, like, sometimes I see brands go down where I'm like, you spent so much money on just the visuals of everything. And I'm like, you know, you didn't really spend. I guess they figured, hey, we've got crazy margins. You know, this is, you know, mall quality, but we're selling it for the same price as luxury because we were really good with the visuals. And, like, to be fair, you could buy the great photographers, great stylists. You could do really amazing stuff with visuals. You can make regular stuff look stupendous, right? And people buy into that. That's fine. You want to buy into a brand, the lifestyle, whatever it is. But ultimately, if the quality isn't there, and you're just buying in for the brand, then you're just competing against, brand,
everybody
like
else.
Everyone else. Like brand, like there's a lot of brands that compete on like, this is my brand, right? This is my image. And it's like, okay, all it takes is for like the wind to change, where it's like, okay, everything is camping lifestyle right now, and we're a camping lifestyle brand. It's like, well, it turns out everyone's into like cowboy stuff right now. And it's like, well, how do I pivot to that, right? Or like, oh no, everything is like racing. Everything is racing themed and like, equestrians and race cars. I'm like, I don't know how those two connect, but whatever it is. What you were the camping brand, and now you have to change your image. Like, it's not going to work, right? And then you're just going to alienate all the people who liked you for being a camping brand, who wanted to stick around for that. So it's just, if you're a brand that is always chasing trend,
you can't be chasing trend. You can be a trend making brand, but that takes a very big money and effort, and more money than effort, to be fair. And
a lot of times, how many times have we seen these big brands that spend a lot on visuals just turn into fluff? And it's like, I feel bad. I look at that as sad, because it's like, it's a brand or a product that people seem to love and enjoy, and just through poor management, you've ruined it.
But I think I always say this, that that's also part of like the characteristics of our industry. Not everything has to be, some brands that have been here for a long time, those are establishment brands, and there's definitely value in that, but there's also value in brands that come and go too. Like, they make a mark, they and that's the fun part of fashion, right? Like, I'm not saying that like we have to be fast fashion, trend chasing kind of things. Not everything is about that, but sometimes you have like a short-lived brand that did amazing products, and it's just like, okay, well, it just didn't last as long because people's taste changed, or how they live changed, and that's fine. I think that's just it's not necessarily a negative thing.
Yeah. Rice W5 Rice, Naked and Famous times Brathwaite watches, transparent pricing companies. I've got a Brathwaite automatic. I'll have to look into that. I think one day, a Naked and Famous Denim watch
makes sense.
Could be cool.
Yeah.
I to be honest with you, I've just a couple of updates. I'll start off with one. Number one, I like Casio, so I've reached out to Casio. They have not got back to me. Anyway, that's one.
Not yet.
Maybe one day. But there are other I would like if it was like a Japanese made watch. I think that would be kind of cool. I always want to do maybe Japanese made headphones. That could be kind of cool too. Like I've probably said it a bunch of times, but I got to reach out to Fostex. I wear these a lot, and this has got a wood. It's I don't know what you call this, but a wood cup. And this is a purple heartwood, so it's got like this natural purple color to it. But I think what could be really cool is if we took like a headphone like this and did a indigo dyed wood. That would be so cool. Anyways, I don't know anybody there, and I don't know how responsive or receptive they would be to that.
I think they're maybe a little bit more reachable than Casio, for instance.
Yeah, I guess so. They're not as giant a corporation, that's for sure. Who knows? Anyways, we'll send the email. We've never sent the email, but just I'm manifesting it. Maybe it'll just come to the world, come to my mind, come to existence through that. Yeah. So that's interesting. But in other collaboration news, Godzilla signed. We dotted the T's. We crossed the I's.
Cross the T's. Dot the I's.
I'm sticking with what I said. And it's on. It's on. I was trying to... What did Andy Bernard say?
Yes, yeah. So it's on like a...
Something at the break of dawn. But whatever it is, it's a happening. So, we're working on it. We're gonna get the fabrics into development, and Lord willing, Godzilla willing, we'll have these products to you in your hands soon. And I'm very excited for this one. This is gonna be a big one. So Jeremy Didson writes, Godzilla, nice. Any sample of the Halloween denim we can see? I do not have it.
Is there even a sample made?
I don't think a full sample has been made yet. Brandon sent me a picture of like the physical leather patch.
Oh, right,
that just came in.
That looks great.
But as soon as we have it, I will show it to you guys. You guys know you're gonna get the preview. I wouldn't hold anything back. If I have it, you're gonna see it. Brian 12ish writes, need that 3-legged Ghidorah denim. Won't be 3-legged, but it is going to be a triple alternating twill. And for a certain member of the chat, we're going to try to go elephant. We're going to try and elephantize it. Heavyweight triple alternating twill. Indigo with a little bit of a yellowish tinted hue weft. So to give it that, King Ghidorah gold, but triple alternating twill for the 3 heads that he has, and heavyweight just to make him a big boy. So that's as close to like the toxic elephant denim that we might get. But that's the plan. Whether it comes to fruition, that's going to be another part. But there's a plan. Some things are doable, some things aren't doable. Yeah, that's just the way this business works. And if things aren't doable, then we pivot. We try to make concessions and we try to make it happen. So Godzilla confirmed. We made it happen. This is another live stream. We made it happen. And so this is all gonna come. Closed and unknown writes Charles Barkley. I'm putting it out there that we're asking. I think that look, it's not a 0% chance. It's close to 0. But we're asking.
Who knows? Maybe.
Right. As I was talking to Brandon about that, so I was talking to Brandon about it the other day, and Brandon said, you know what? Just interestingly enough, because like I gave him the whole Godzilla plan, and I'm like, yeah, but here's one thing that we need to ask them. And I'm like, this is going to sound crazy. And I know you're going to tell me it's crazy. But I'm going to tell you anyways. And you're going to tell me that there's no chance in hell that it's going to happen. And I'm like, I know there's almost no chance in hell. But if there's a chance in hell, then there's a chance in hell. So we might as well see where this goes. You got to ask. And I said, Godzilla versus Barkley. We need to get Charles Barkley. This would make the most amazing collab. It would make it so perfect. So, and he's like, you know what's amazing? He's like, I was at my my cottage the other day, and my dad dug up like these old boxes, and he's like, he found our old comic book collection, and you know what was in there? A Charles Barkley versus Godzilla issue. Brandon had the comic book, and so I'm like, oh my god, this is like fate coming together. So.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
Bob.
It's a sign from Godzilla. So, hopefully we can make even that happen. I'm praying. You guys pray. Pray to the denim Godzilla of your choice to make it happen. Whether it's Mecha Godzilla, Burning Godzilla, Godzilla -1, Shin Godzilla, whichever Godzilla you pray to, let's try to make that happen. Even Rodzilla would count as an acceptable deity to pray to. Although I don't think he's technically in the Godzilla universe.
What about Manila?
Manila, yep, included. Jet Jaguar, all of them. So let's try to make that happen. Yeah. Brian 12ish writes, Nike did a Godzilla-themed Barkley signature shoe. You should at least include those in the promo materials. Well, that is the complication of Godzilla versus Barkley is many things. Number one, the comic book was with Dark Horse Comics. There was a Nike Charles Barkley shoe or like ad campaign, and then there's just Charles Barkley, right? So he has, I'm sure there's just his individual rights. You know, whether or not we could include anything Nike in there, I doubt it. Mm-hmm. But there's that, and then there's the comic book rights holder, and then, you know, whether or not Toho even would want this to happen. There's so many that's the complications of all of this. There's a lot of moving parts. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Yeah, but I think maybe he means is that we can, you know, like we use shoes in our photos, Instagram photos, and all that kind of stuff. And they can wear that.
That's true. Yeah. So that's in the works. Mm-hmm. That's in the works. Okay. Before we get to this next segment, or if you liked that last segment, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button. Now is your chance. If you haven't done it yet, if you forgot to tell a friend, just go in there, hit that like button, sign into your other account. I know you've got one. And just subscribe and like to us as well. Double it up. Let's get those numbers up. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers.
Oh, interesting.
We're probably like a week away from hitting that number. Maybe I shouldn't say that just in case we don't hit that number in a week, but we're very close. We're very close.
Right. I didn't know where that I just remember we hit 10,000.
Yeah.
That was not that long ago.
No, the numbers are growing. People are interested. We're making things happen. We're making jeans happen. We're talking about inflation. Everyone likes that topic. What else did we talk about today? The rights of women's to have pockets on their jeans.
Mm-hmm. Canadian souvenirs. We got it all. This and conspiracy theories. Yeah.
Guys, this live stream got it all. No wonder we've been ranked the #1 live stream in the world when polled by me, just me and only me. But you know what? That's the straight truth. That's the fact, right? If I tell you our methodology, it's true. Okay, so with that said, let's get into snack time because we have a mystery to unfold.
That's our favorite kind of snack time.
Yeah, it's Sarah McLachlan time. We're building a mystery by experiencing mystery flavors. We found a nice mystery flavor that we wanted to enjoy with you guys on the internet. Rice W5 writes, subscriber Selvedge, 14.9 ounces. That's where we're at. But if we have to hit every ounce for every subscriber level, might make a difficult production line. Brian 12ish writes, live stream champion del mundo. C'est vrai, c'est very true. Christian Cox, yes, I made it home just in time for snack time. Good to see you, my friend. We've got, what do we have here, Risa?
We have a classic mystery Fanta. What the Fanta?
What the Fanta? It is beautifully retro-inspired design here. A big old question mark. What is this flavor? We don't know, but we are about to find out.
Preview.
Green.
Very
it's going to be green
like
flavor.
Mountain Dew.
I really have to say I enjoy this packaging a lot. Just anything retro-inspired, anything that reminds me of my childhood is definitely going to get a purchase from me. And I think this was $1. So, you know, not breaking the bank here. And, even better, 0 calorie. That's what you want. I didn't even notice that. So
that doesn't sound very retro.
No, that is not retro. So, that's
but
cool.
Also, I don't know if I call this.
Wait, anybody with your phone out, hit that QR code. See, I don't know where that's going to take you. Somewhere on the internet, I guess you can guess what the flavor is. So I'm going to leave that there on the screen for for 10 more seconds. Get your phone out, scan that, see where that takes you. It might take you somewhere not illegal on the internet. I don't think it'll take you anywhere weird. No, they wouldn't do that on the good people at Fanta. Site. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Roy75 says it looks like 7-Up. Cathedral Ring. Kiwi is my guess.
My guess. I don't know if to me this does not look like a mystery.
You think it looks like melon soda?
Yes, because it's what they say is mystery retro flavor.
For people who don't know, melon soda.
It's very retro. It's very
Japanese. Yeah. Okay, let's pull up melon soda. So, this is what is that?
Log in.
I don't want to log in. Get me out of here. Here we go. So let's look it up. So, this is melon soda. Green soda made with melon. You would often find it at I
don't know if they're made with melon. I think, to be honest,
not made with melon, flavored melon, I guess. You'll find these in old Japanese cafes. They're called kisaten, and so they'll usually have it with ice cream. This kind of look is very iconic.
Yeah.
It's
actually pharmacy soda kind of vibe. It wasn't only for kisatens. It's just one of those old school things that people sit down to drink.
Yeah.
I think it was just very iconic. Because I don't know, I think we didn't have that much of a cola flavor things. So this one, a cider flavored one would be the blue one.
Right. So, we'll see. Is it going to be that obvious that it is a melon soda? In fact, I see that Fanta offers an actual melon soda product already. So, let's hold on. Let's change that.
Okay, I'll do the other one.
Yeah, a nice pour here.
Nice pour.
Very green. I like it.
Yellow green. It's like a nuclear
green. Somebody wrote Adam Brown right. Ecto Cooler flavor. Maybe it might be some Ghostbusters Ecto Cooler.
Right.
Smells very much like candy.
Smells very much like candy, melon flavored candy. Oh, banana.
It's banana.
It's banana.
Yeah. Definitely banana. That they really throw you for a loop there with the green, but it's banana.
It's banana.
It's not very good.
It's banana flavored soda. It's not disgusting or anything like that.
It's not disgusting, but there's this aftertaste that is not appealing at all. And it's not there's bad aspartame, aftertaste.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that just comes with the
zero calorie. But yeah, whatever the maybe it is aspartame, but I could taste it and it just sticks around. I don't like it.
Secret mystery Fanta. The answer will be revealed on
June 10th.
So even next week, we wouldn't even know if. These are the
guesses?
options. Yeah. So, banana and peach bubble gum.
That's it.
Yes.
That is 100% it.
Lemon, what is that? The candy that pops in a pop.
A popping candy lemon.
Anyhow. Mango pancake. No. Cherry sugar candies.
Okay.
Green apple ramune, which is a powdery candy. Pine. Do you have a name for this? The pop, ice.
Oh, an ice pop, like a pineapple ice pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Candy
night
apple?
market candied apple. Honey lemon caramel. Tropical pudding a la mode. Yuzu taiyaki. Taiyaki is just pancake dough wrapped around the red bean paste, shaped like a fish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the first option.
It's definitely the first option, and you know what that bad aftertaste is? It's the bad aftertaste of artificial peach.
Oh, okay, yes.
That's what it is.
It all connects now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with banana. Banana peach.
Yeah.
Bubblegum.
Adam Brown writes, I hate banana, but I love artificial banana flavor. I am not opposed to artificial banana flavor, but I think the peach really throws it off. Anyhow, sorry to ruin the mystery, but
It's just that if you watch this video, there is a hint in this video. So.
Well, anyhow, you guys can scan the QR codes for yourself, make the guess, and watch the video. You can see what they might have to offer you. We think it's the peach. I'm pretty sure we're right, because we both instinctively hit that.
I thought the banana, like, you know, when I smelled it, it's like, okay, this is the fake candied, like, melon, because that's something I don't like. I don't like melon. I don't like bananas. And then I was just like, no. This is banana that I don't like.
Yeah, Risa doesn't like bananas either.
So, anyways, I got that flavor way more than the peach. Peach is, it's hard to nail down, but once it's told, okay, like it makes sense. All right, we'll see.
We'll see if we're right, and hopefully, is there a prize? In an ideal world, is there a prize? Yeah, in an ideal world.
I think if I sign up with the thing, you can win a free drink from a Coke vending machine.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
Only 100 people will get it. Like,
there's 100 free Cokes to be given away in the world. Carl's in the chat. Bezad, I hope you're well. Love from the States. Good to see you, Carl. Nice. I watched your video this morning. He put a video on rugged watches, and he put on the Casio G-Shock on there, and I was like, good man, that is correct. Yeah, great video. Carl, we love you. Thank you for joining us in the chat. I have this pile of stuff that I've been meaning to send you. I haven't sent it to you yet. I don't know. Every weekend I'm like, I got to send out to Carl. There's something nice coming your way. And thanks for joining us. Okay, Brenton Henry. I had my first pomelo last night. So sad it took me over 30 years to find this fruit. Brenton, well, you know what? Now you know about it.
Yes.
And it is a great fruit to enjoy.
You still have so many years to enjoy that fruit.
I have a great pomelo story, and I'm going to leave it at that one.
Okay.
It was, I don't remember, I think it was JFK Airport. And this is over 10 years ago. We were flying from New York to, I think it was Berlin. At the lounge, they had like this fruit, this big old display of fruit. And on top of it, there was a pomelo. And I was like, is that pomelo for display? Or is that pomelo for us to enjoy? Because I've never seen a pomelo in an airport lounge. I've seen oranges. I've seen apples.
Was it a single?
It was a single pomelo. It was like this tray of fruit, and then at the top there was a pomelo.
What's the fruits under?
They had all kinds of fruits, apples and oranges,
Regular fruits.
Yeah, regular fruits, and they had this pomelo, and I'm like, I'm taking that pomelo, and I did. I peeled the pomelo, and I enjoyed the pomelo in the lounge. I've never seen a pomelo in an airport lounge ever since. Perhaps because of me, they probably thought that was for decoration and some jerk ate it. But it's like, it's gonna go bad after, you can't, they don't last forever. You gotta.
And you displayed it with the rest of the fruits.
Right,
so
what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
I think it was for consumption. Yeah. I don't think you should blame yourself for that.
Right. Also, one time it was the United Lounge in Narita Airport. They have a lot of magazines on display.
Oh, yes.
And see, some airport lounges, they have the magazines out, but you take them. They're there for you to take. And I thought that those were there for me to take. So they had a whole bunch of, recent good magazines, and I'm just like, this is awesome. You guys... And so I took a bunch of magazines from that. I didn't know. You weren't supposed to take them. And like there's like another point where I was in that same lounge, and now I saw a very clear sign that you weren't supposed to take them, and I'm like,
yeah, enough people thought the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a little different because you go to a hair salon, you go to a dentist office. You don't take those magazines. It's there for you to enjoy it.
Right.
There.
But some airport lounges do have the magazine. They have just a stock of magazines. I'm like, I didn't realize that. Anyhow, regardless, there should have been a more clear sign. I wouldn't have still. I don't feel like I stole them.
Yes, that was an honest mistake.
Right.
Yes.
But in a way, I stole them. So to United Airlines, I apologize for stealing some magazines a couple years ago. I've made many airline purchases and Star Alliance purchases with you since. Hopefully we've made up. But that was
I don't think they're hurting from that.
I hope not. I hope that's not causing them any damage. So, okay. With all that said...
learned a lesson.
We learned a few lessons. Everybody, it's been a pleasure. Another pleasure. Great start to our weekend. Hopefully we entertained you for a little while, talked about some denim and related things. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same channel, Naked Famous Denim live stream, streaming live from Yokohama, Japan, right here on YouTube on the Naked Famous Denim channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, like if you haven't already, tell a friend, kiss your mother, do something nice for somebody, and do something nice for yourselves. And we'll see you guys next week. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.